Hello, my name is Desiree Palkulik, and I'm an area project manager at the Arkansas Division of Public School Facilities and Transportation. Today I'm going to be talking about the POR, or Program of Requirements. What is a POR? The POR is what the division uses to assess space projects to determine suitability, which is whether a school campus has sufficient square footage for the projected high population in the next 10 years, whether a school campus has the required number and type of academic spaces and support spaces, and also to what extent the state can partner with the school district in cost sharing the district's project. So when is a POR required? PORs are required for any new school project, any addition project, conversion projects, grade reconfigurations, and warm, safe, dry space replacement projects or complete renovations. Districts will prepare a POR for each new space project application, which the district intends to apply for by March 1st of 2020 for the 21-23 Partnership Program funding cycle. PORs shall be submitted electronically in Excel-compatible format. And the POR worksheets, I'm going to share my screen, are located. I'm at arkansasfacilities.arkansas.gov. I'm going to go to the Facilities tab, and it's a pull down. I'm going to go to Planning and Master Plans, and I'll click on that. This is an explanation of the master plan and what it is. And here are some links. There's a link to the POR, also to this useful tool, which is a supplement to the POR to assist a district in filling it out, and also a preliminary program of requirements grid, which can assist in figuring out what types of PORs would be required for a particular project. The POR is also located here in our key links section to the right in this gold box. So we've got this POR I'm going to open, and this is a blank POR. It's in the form of an Excel spreadsheet. So now I've opened the POR template. The first thing that we would do is access the summary page, which is this first tab here to the left, and complete the sections naming the school district, the specific school name, project number, who the POR was run by, and the date that the POR was run. Next, we will complete the number of students section on the POR using the highest 10-year projections available in the district master plan on the division website. So you would go to your reports and find your district report. So you will use the highest number of students in the same year for the grade levels the school named in the project services. For example, in addition to a K-5 school, will use only the highest number of students in grades K through 5, which may or may not be the same as the district overall 10-year high. The district may submit their own enrollment projections if they differ from the report projections, but these must be accompanied by sufficient factual and verifiable evidence, such as a confirmed new industry or housing development. You can use the supporting documents worksheet from the division website, the one named Useful Tool, to input projections. So there's a grid that you can input projections, and the 10-year projections need to be in the same format as the division website. This is not a guarantee of division acceptance, and this will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis. So next, we will use the toggles to indicate whether the school has a full service kitchen or a warming kitchen. So that's this here, and this will automatically fill that in. And then we will go down to whether or not the school is single story or has multiple stories here on this pull down. After completing this information, the total required spaces and support space allowance, construction factor, and total required square footage will appear. So this will input when the grades are filled in. Next, we're going to enter the total campus size. A campus is comprised of all the facilities which serve the same grade levels and or contain shared spaces, such as gymnasiums or cafeterias. You will use the school district report located on the division's website to obtain the total campus size and to determine academic versus non-academic buildings. Use the supporting documents worksheet, the useful tools from the division website, to help determine how you arrived at the campus size. Total campus size used in the POR is the total campus size minus non-academic spaces, such as field houses, administrative offices, storage, maintenance, etc., or any buildings to be demolished as part of a project if you have a warm, safe, dry space replacement project. You will need to note any buildings if there are to be demolished, because these are going to be subject to division inspection and approval and must be accompanied by notes or justification. They may be listed on the square footage check sheet as non-academic in the supporting documents worksheet with a note to be demoed to help determine the total academic square footage in the final campus configuration and after proposed demolition. And finally, it's good to check the district report and the insurance statement of values to make sure that no buildings have been omitted. Next, we're going to look at these columns here. We have existing spaces. We're going to enter all the existing spaces in the existing spaces column. We want to include both the quantity and the total area. Existing spaces should be shown after any conversions, change of use, etc., as a result of the project. You can check existing spaces against the data in the room data from the division website. To do this, you would go to the web tool, select the building, and select rooms. And the building may have existing spaces, the quantity, and the net square footage of each there. The quantity of these existing spaces is more important to the evaluation than individual net areas of existing spaces. So net area sizes of existing academic spaces are grandfathered in, so districts won't be penalized for smaller than standard size classrooms. Now the POR may be verified by a site visit. Inaccurate PORs could disqualify projects. So it is important to try to be as accurate as possible when filling out existing spaces. Next, we need to check POR spaces against the schematic to ensure that the net square foot and number of spaces indicated match. For a new school campus, only the gross square foot number is needed and must be equal or greater to the total required square footage for funding. A new school campus will contain all new facilities and no existing or shared spaces with another campus. Now we're going to note the required spaces on the right side of the page. The total number of required spaces and sizes are listed with the total existing and new project spaces. Note that the existing net sizes may be grandfathered, but the districts are required to have the correct number of spaces, and all new spaces must be built to standards. Now in the required spaces column, we have the academic core spaces listed first. And then as we go down, we have our reading, media, art, vocal, instrument, PE, special ed, administrative, performing arts, and then student dining. The area types are prioritized in this order. So academic core, meaning classroom, will be first. Districts not having the required number of high priority spaces will not be approved for funding for lower priority spaces. And I encourage you to read Rule 4.02 in the partnership rule for more information on the high priority spaces. Now at the bottom of the summary sheet, we have the notes. This is to explain any conversions, shared spaces, or any other pertinent information to assist the division in project evaluation. So now we will go to the suitability page. Check to be sure that the toggle indicates addition or new school. So for new school, we will click no, and that will be a new school. This is to note any single purpose spaces and the year built. The reason for this is that districts with these areas which are overbuilt are not penalized if these spaces were built prior to 2008. What you will do is you will enter the gross square footage for these areas unless it's part of an existing academic school building, in which case you would go back to your room data and get the net square footage for those areas and explain in the notes area below how you derived at the net square footage. Academic areas, such as classrooms, should not be included in a gross single-purpose area. For example, if you have a large gymnasium building or auditorium, which contains classrooms around the exterior, you would deduct the net square footage of that space. The POR will deduct any overages from these single-purpose spaces, and it may result in additional suitability. So the suitability need is here. Next, I'm going to move to the Support Spaces tab. It's important to enter all new spaces, not existing, and the number. This is optional to the district, but these must be included if they are to receive funding. So we will go down here on the list, and you can see quantity and area there. Next, I will move to the tab called Career Education. This is Workforce Development. You will input both existing and proposed new spaces here in these columns. Now for new schools and additions involving grade reconfigurations, additional PORs must be submitted to take into account the suitability of the entire district for the affected grade levels. So each existing school other than the project school must be shown in what is called an excess POR. So to determine excess suitability, what we will do is we will toggle this to new school. Now, it's not necessary in an excess POR to input all of the existing spaces, because what we really want is just the gross square foot number, which will be indicated on the district report. So this excess POR should be submitted with the suitability POR. Any excess suitability will be deducted from the required fundable square footage of the new school in the evaluation process by the division. Finally, the last tab is just information on required spaces and standard space sizes. These notes actually give more information on how these standard sizes and variable sizes are determined. So that's just some more helpful information. All right. And that concludes my talk on PORs and their importance to the process. Please feel free to call the division at any time for assistance. And again, my name is Desiree Palkulik, and I hope this talk has been helpful. Thank you.